we're moving on to the Madlanga. And I'm going to give you a quick lowdown. I don't expect... Because, guys, South Africans are busy. They are working. I feel like there's so much that happened this week that a regular person that is just focused on their whole life, it might miss them. So I do want to give a quick recap. I have a timeline here, and I had to sit down and like kind of map, because it's so complicated. And obviously it starts on the 6th of July. I don't know if you saw, there was a press conference where the Lieutenant General, who is the police commissioner in KZN, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, held a press conference. We did not know at that point that the country was changed forever. Because, of course, people have press conferences all the time. Again, we miss these things. There's so many things happening. But we did not realize that there was a point where the world was about to be different for South Africa, for South African politicians, and it's real. So at the heart of this accusation that he made, so he went public, right? And it was like, yo, I'm trying to do my job as the police commissioner, and we have what they call a PKTT, Political Killings Task Team, that is investigating political killings in the KZN. And what they investigating those murders like the Senzo May, which seems like there are shady connections next to it. And they are encountering resistance. And recently, that political task team was disbanded, like at the end of the year last year. And so he's like, he knows he has evidence that the person that was responsible for that disbandment to protect their thug friends is Senzo Mkhwanazi, who is the police minister, which already is like, obviously mind-blowing. He accuses other people. There's a lot here. He accuses other people as well. And again, I think at that point, we did not realize how big this was because it was just an accusation. I believe him. I believed him from the start because I know his track record, but you never know. We're like, we'll see. And then the president, of course, again, our president is very good at deferring. Like when it's time to make a decision, that's what Ramaphosa does. He starts a commission. He creates an inquiry. So if Ramaphosa has a personal relationship with you as a minister and you're accused of corruption, he's not going to come and take action against you. He's going to politically insulate himself and say, I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm going to start a commission. They will decide what to do with
clever.
you. He does exactly, very clever, just not good for our leadership as a country. But anyways, he started a commission. And of course, my heart is heavy on commissions because of the Zondo commission where nothing happened there with the Guptas. We saw them running and nothing really happened there. But this one, right, has been different because from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi was testifying. So now he has to back up his claims. Like you can't just go to a press conference and accuse people. What is your evidence? Oh my God. Please, I need you to go to YouTube when you get home and watch videos of this so that you realize how serious this is now. Because you realize that this guy is meticulous, he did his homework, and he's a top cop. He's the kind of police that we see on TV that in South Africa I didn't know we had. Like we have people that are very patriotic, that feel passionately, that have a strong moral sense. People that are like, I answer to God, I want things to be...
Yeah, that have like, no corruption in them.
Which in South Africa, because in South Africa there are some good people, but even them are corrupted a little. So it's weird to see someone who's willing to put their lives that way, and they call names. They don't do that thing where they tease us and say, there's someone. No, he says names. And so at the center of this, I know I'm saying a lot of things. I'll go for about another 5 minutes, then we'll close it up. At the center of this is someone called Vusiket Matlala, who is a big tenderpreneur, involved currently in jail for an attempted murder on an influencer who is different story. Exactly. It's like a Netflix, that's a different story.
Okay, but he's got lots of money, right?
Of course.
Okay.
He's a
guys, money talks.
But it's not even that in South Africa. It's more than that because it's no longer now about the money. It's an actual organized mafia. So this guy is at the center of it, and he has personal relationships with Senzo Mkhwanazi through another guy who's a businessman called Brian Mkhotsi, but that's another timeline. Begitele and all of these people.
Yo, did you just say Begitele?
Of course, Begitele was going to be involved in any corrupt
all of them,
thing.
they're all connected. But Thula, you forget something about South Africa and Africa. Muti, Sangomas.
Okay.
Go watch a film. Have you watched the film called Inkabi? Actually, a friend of mine.
I have with the. I love the guy from Stockfella.
Dude,
Biza.
The reason why they cannot find AKA's
the person
killer
responsible
is not because they cannot find.
Yeah.
It's because there is Inkabi involved. Muti.
You know what I think? I hear you. I don't know how much I believe that. I feel like there's a lot of that stuff. I feel like a lot of it, we say that because of our feelings of helplessness, which I understand because when the Muti thing, it isolates from, okay, well, the police also can't do anything because there's something above. But I'm telling you now, based on what we're seeing come out, that it might be a combination. There's Muti, but these people are also protected by very powerful people. So that's what I'm saying, that I think our helplessness makes us believe that these are otherworldly things. Like it's spiritual problems that are so above. Ganti, sometimes it is just bad policing. It is just corruption. It is just people being in someone's pocket. And it takes someone like Mkhwanazi to come and put this all out. There's something interesting that he said, which I think would be a good place to close this. They asked him, because during the press conference, there were people behind him that had like big guns, and he was wearing like uniform. Like
soldier type.
Yeah, it was like that.
AK-47.
Yeah, and of course that's not the unit he's in. So now they're asking him in the commission to say, that was an unusual way why did you choose just in a random press conference to come like that? And he made a good point. He was like, South Africans need to realize that this is not playtime anymore. The things that are happening in South Africa, because I think in South Africa, our imagination fails us when we think about crime. We know that there's corrupt politicians. We know all that, but we can't even imagine how bad it is. It's so bad. And so he was making that point to say, we need to be in terrorist mode. We need to imagine we're dealing with terrorists, people who are here to undermine the justice system, people who are here to undermine the rule of law, this democracy that we fought so hard for, and they have no regard for it. And so you can't approach those kind of issues with a suit and a tie. You need to show that it's guerrilla time. It's your family comes from that, so it's like a time for that kind of energy. And I do think that as South Africa, because as South Africans, I understand, I get disengaged from politics a lot. I come back in and out because it's so overwhelming.
But Thula, I didn't know this side of you. Comrades. You're so passionate about politics. I'm also passionate about politics.
About South Africa and people. And
the thing is, with politics, you can't get away with it because
you can't.
Because besides that, it affects where you live, what you eat,
who you interact with, your safety,
basically
your kids' safety.
It affects with your money.
Oh my god! so it's a very difficult time. What I will say is that because the commission is still happening, I've led myself, and I always stop myself from doing this, but I've unfortunately let myself have hope in this commission, which in South Africa is not the best thing because things here just fizzle out and there's no resolution. So I usually never have hope. So this is unusual for me to actually have hope in a process that's happening and say maybe something will come from this, because I feel like even if nothing happens legally at the end, these people are not held accountable, they just blame one person and scapegoat them. I do think this is a turning point for the ANC in that things are never going to be the same. And I feel like that's at least something. Even though I'm aware that the commission, unfortunately, can't make arrests, they can't officially they can make recommendations. So the commission can say, we have found that this person was guilty of treason, of all this, and then they make a recommendation to the Chief Justice or the President, of which we know now that the President here is implicated as well. I know you love the President, so you don't even want to hear it.
When did I say I love the President?
Every time we say the President, you make a face.
I make a face.
Thandiwe loves the President and say she will die for the President. She will die for the President.
Cuts, definitely not. But you know what? I mean, just from hearing you speak, what's good about this is to see good people.
Yeah, exactly.
Good people.
I didn't know they existed. Mkhwanazi, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi.
Can we clap for him?
What?
Like, I would dance for him. We want to see more of that. And we need to actually speak to our kids that there was a
good men that existed in
here's
South
a model.
Africa.
Here's a
will
model.
Say, I want to
Here's a
say
model.
this. I want to say this because I feel like there's been a lot. South Africa has been adopting American cultural bullshit lately.
Yeah,
and
lately,
I feel
like
for the longest time, you're right.
Forever.
And so there's been a lot of conversations about warped ideas of masculinity and what men are. And it's always a toxic, like where people don't, like what you said, men, we don't call out our friends when they see them abusing. We don't call out like people in our lives, of which that's where the conversation needs to start. But it doesn't happen because we have a warped sense of what a man needs to be. And so I'm happy when there is someone like Mkhwanazi who is like, yo, and actually a man is doing the right thing. A man is protecting the people that you are sworn to protect.